our next load. Well, what do I have here? It's this thing. You got lumber. We need to use that. The tarp is already up top, so here we go. We just gotta get her done, you know. That's one thing about trucking, is just get it done. Just go ahead and get it done. We don't have a lot of choice but to get this load coming from the Spokane area. So let me brief you on what's been going on. We come from Cleveland area, and then from Cleveland went to Nampa, Idaho, and that same load went to Pullman. So basically they took off one piece from Nampa and then added one piece from Nampa and then unloaded the rest of it in Pullman, Washington. Now that was all light. I loved it. I think I'm supposed to hook this to myself. They're probably gonna yell at me because I don't have my helmet on. I can't have my helmet on and the GoPro at the same time. Oh man. Well, if you're scared of height, don't be a flatbed driver. What the hell? Okay. So this is our load right here. It's a whole bunch of freaking straps, man. Anyway, so that load from Nampa is a really light load, and it paid pretty decent. And it's February. It's getting pretty scary out there. Usually February is pretty slow because construction has slowed quite a bit. So I was like, you know what, this pays pretty decent. I normally would not want to come back to this location because for this reason right here, what we're doing right now. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with doing this kind of work. It's just this work cost us, or this load doesn't pay that great, but it takes a lot of work out of you physically, you know. But we don't have a whole lot of choice though. Not coming from this area. Now I could probably deadhead all the way out of here, but then we would have gone from Ohio to Nampa pretty much rolling at $1.89 a mile if we rolled empty all the way back, or even just 1,400 miles empty. So that's why I decided on just go ahead and suck it up and do some work. This is the reason why I wanted these tarps to get stolen somehow, so I don't gotta deal with them no more. Oh, we got us a coffee. We still got the holes. I think it'll be fine, but this is what we got right here. Hopefully she rides fine. One key to tarping is pulling. You gotta pull. You don't gotta pull that hard, but you just gotta pull certain ways to make her look like she's gonna be good to go. Also, if you look down here, you gotta make sure you don't block your freaking light. This load is sticking out a little bit. I'd say about a half a foot, but that's what we got. Those tarps are looking pretty rough, but they'll manage though. Check this out. I'm over here trying to teach y'all how to tarp. Oh man, this tarp is rough. Look at that. I didn't even realize how bad this tarp is. And the problem is that's not even the problem. That's the problem right there. Oh my goodness. We're gonna have to dig out the doggone ladder and go get her out of there. What I don't like about this tarp is I don't have enough D-rings and I don't have enough in between. That's one of the main issue I have with this tarp. I got this tarp from another guy, and I don't even want to talk about him. That's what you get for trying to save money, buying something off Facebook Market. This leather's so new, I haven't even taken out the doggone thing yet. This leather has probably traveled more than what a lot of people would travel in their lifetime. All right, well, we are on top of the load. It's dangerous, but it has to be done. I think she's gonna hold now, hopefully. Now, how you get down from here? Look at this, look at this. I was not a rigger in the army, but I do pretty good, I must say. There we go. Easy enough. Thank you, 2-inch strap. I promise, that damn tarp is going to the trash. I might not even keep the other one. The other one's actually pretty good shape. But I was thinking about just getting steel tarps, because the steel tarps seem like they have more D-rings on them. So a lot of times anyway, you don't need 8-foot tarps. So I think if I get like 3 steel tarps, I can still do 8-foot drops. But I gotta lay out 3 tarps. That's okay. But like I said, like very seldom do I need the whole 8-foot drop. Well, here we are. We are in South Dakota, just past the border. Well, actually we're 60 miles into South Dakota, coming from the Wyoming border. If you're ever gonna take the I-90, say you're gonna cross the I-90 all the way, man, make sure you take that 212, the US 212. So in the tri-state of Montana, South Dakota, and Wyoming, there's that US Highway 212. Take that. I've taken that several times before, but I can tell that there's been some bad weather here lately, so I was like, you know what, let me just take the 90. I've taken the 90 as well before, maybe a couple of times here and there, and I don't remember it being that tough. With this load and heavy, whew, not a good idea to take the 90 all the way. Also, if you take the 90, it would take you an additional 65 miles. So it's a win-win on taking the 212. The only reason why I elected to take the 90 is because it's already getting dark, and I know this area very well. There's a lot of deers around here. We are now halfway on this lumber load. It's gonna be almost time to take a break soon. My goodness, I feel like this time around, I feel like it's longer. I feel like I've been on the road long. I haven't been on the road that long. I think it's because I had that couple of days of break over there in the Spokane area. It's so hard to get out of there. It's always that way. But now we have a contact over there. As a matter of fact, next time we go back out, I might be looking for a load going to Spokane, because I know we can make some money going into Spokane, coming from, say, Pennsylvania, or even Maryland, or even Virginia, North Carolina. That should be a pretty decent money. But now I know that it's possible that you can actually make some money too coming out of Spokane. We might actually just opt to go ahead and purposely go to Spokane. Good morning, YouTube. Here we are. We are at the drop-off, and I gotta get all this stuff done so we can get unloaded. So basically we gotta back in there, in that ramp right there. See, this is one, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, I think, something like that. This is why I choose to go and park normally. So what I do is I normally look at the delivery, and I'm gonna try to see if I can find parking at the delivery or at the shipper, just so I can get started early in the morning. That's why a lot of times I'm at the delivery or at the shipping, because of that. On that same note, this is part of trucking that you have to do, that you must do, because to save on your clock, to maximize your amount of time, because you know how you're so limited DOT wise. As soon as you move your truck, your clock starts. Once your clock starts ticking, it doesn't stop. So that's why. And normally I also look at the on Google Maps. So that's how I usually do it. If I know I'm delivering to areas like businesses, like this area right here, there's nothing but a bunch of businesses down this way, I know for a fact I can find parking there. Even if the delivery or the pickup says no truck parking, I know I'm gonna find parking in the area. So that's why that Google map is really a freaking amazing thing. You gotta use it to your advantage, you know. Back then, when all of this e-log, before it became mandatory, I used to park at the truck stops, you know, and spend the night there or whatever. But and that's the thing, like, a lot of people just, especially in trucking, are set in their ways and they cannot adapt, you know. Like, say your electric trucks that are coming, they're coming no matter what your opinion is. They're coming, you know. I mean, you just gotta embrace change, you know. And I think it's for the better, you know. Even though I think they're not gonna be, even though hooded trucks look good and everything, but I think eventually, maybe it's gonna take probably another 100 years, but they're probably gonna be eventually just gonna be in a museum. So I know I'm ranting over here. So I figure I'll go talk to the vlog while I'm doing all this work, you know. So let me get back on that same point again. See, a lot of people talk about how much money they make in trucking now. You know, also talk about this part of trucking. You know, if you are an owner operator and you don't do this kind of stuff, you're probably not making a whole lot of money, unless you got like, or you're not maximizing your time on the road. That's the key, is just maximizing the time on the road, because like I said, you're away from family, you know, you're not out here on vacation. So that's what you gotta do, you know. But I mean, in case in point, look at that guy right there, right across the street. He's a van driver. There's a couple more on the other side of the building that are just out here shut down and waiting to get unloaded, you know. So, and that is why when I do what I do as far as like calculating my how much I charge, it makes sense the way I say, because that's how I that's how much I value my time, you know. It's like, if you're not charging accordingly, you're doing a lot of hard work for nothing. If you put all that time and effort on the same thing as, let's say, working at McDonald's or whatever, you would actually make the same amount of money or maybe more for a lot easier time, you know, a lot easier time, and you'll be home. So that's the thing. It's like, let's say you started a plumbing business or whatever. You put that same amount of time and effort on that business, on that particular business, as you do in trucking. You would make the same amount in the long run. Because we do put a lot of hours out here, and a lot of people don't think about that, you know. Like, yeah, it'll make some, if you're an owner operator, you can definitely make some good money out here if you do it correctly. But like I said, I'm not complaining. It's just that you have to charge accordingly. Like all of this people, you know, like the people that, so on with me at my current expenses, at current fuel prices, I'm right around $1.32, maybe 34-ish, my break-even point. And I would charge another over $1.50 on top of that to pay me, you know. I think I deserve that. Look at all of this work we're doing out here. You know, when it comes down to it, no, I don't mean to say there's anything negative. I meant to say, like, you know, a lot of times you get like caught up in something because like you got to do stuff, you know, and then you get negative about it or whatever, you know, because you got to do stuff. But a lot of times, man, it's like I treat it like I do when I go to the gym. It's been a hot minute since I've been in the gym. Is that you just gotta do it, man, you know. Just as soon as you start doing it, you get started, it actually is a lot easier. You just gotta start knocking it out a little bit at a time, you know. I don't know why I'm folding this tarp, because I don't think I'm gonna use this tarp again, but I can't just leave it to them over here, you know, and create trash over here. All right, how I fold tarps. Normally, you want to fold tarps, you want to spread it out, and then you take both of the edge, fold them in the middle, fold them again until you get a shape that you want to fold it, right? Because once you lay it out on the load next time, you lay it out, and then you're gonna unroll it just like so, and then you gotta do is spread the sides like that. And then when I roll it, I put it about halfway in here, just like so, so I don't have to roll the whole thing, you know. I don't have to roll that extra stuff. Save you a little bit of time. I know some of you that are watching, not very many of you, but there's some of you out there probably thinking, you know what, since I'm an owner operator, I get a saying on what load I can pick up or what I should pick up, so I'm just gonna choose not to pick up anything that requires a tarp? Well, you know, I don't think anybody wants to do extra work if they necessarily don't have to, especially if you're gonna get paid the same. Well, where we had come from, that area is lumber area, and lumber, majority of it has to be tarped, and for you to stay competitive, or even if you can get out of there, is for you to be able to get out of there, is that you're gonna have to tarp. And if you notice, all my loads are not tarp, because when I'm in an area such as this place, I don't got a tarp. I got options. So you might be thinking, all right, you didn't show us how to secure this thing. Well, show us now. Okay, let me explain. You see this part right here, this is what they call the belly strap. On a DOT, on the FMCSA book, I believe it says either the second layer or the third layer. You have, if it's more than 4 foot high or something like that, or 5 foot high, I can't remember exactly, but you have to put this thing they call a belly strap. What that does is it compresses these down so you can press those down, so the whole load is not just as a unit, you know. Because if you didn't have these belly straps and then you have this pressed down as much as you can, you know, those in the middle could easily ship on you. That's the idea of that. All right, here we go. Check that out. We gotta back it into there. You see, that's why I like some of these guys out here, the new guys specifically. You can't blame them. I mean, just look at this place, you know. Sure this trailer is hugging that curve right there, because it's pretty much going to be a blind side once we get in there. That's crazy. I don't even got my trailer set right. All right, let me see where are we at. Gotta watch for that truck. Set my trailer right. You can see her a little bit over there. Oh, yeah, that won't be good. how tight this place is. I mean, I have to back in here, you know. I'm not saying I'm one of the best drivers out there, but I'm pretty proud, and you know, backing her in there, especially blindsiding that son of a gun in there. But you know, as truck drivers, these are some of the things you got to deal with, you know, and that is why I always emphasize. Look, I got my tarp sitting out here. Oh my goodness, I hope ain't nobody took one of my tarps. Because I couldn't put them on the bed, you know. So, all right, here we go. Yeah, nobody took it. Well, you know what? Actually, I might have been happier if they took it. I don't know. I can't tell you just yet. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I feel like I'm beat already. That takes a lot of work now, doing all that stuff. That's why, as I was saying earlier, before I got cut off by those doggone tarps, is that this is the reason why you have to charge accordingly, because it is a lot of work out here. There's a lot of things involved, a lot of things factor into your day-to-day basis, you know. But that's the end of this load. This load paid $4,900 and it went 2,100 miles, which is approximately $2.34 to the mile. Trust me, that was the best time. That was the best that we can do out there. Now I could have gone direct with a shipper, but me, as being me, I've already booked the load with this particular broker, and the only reason why I would cancel a load from a broker if I booked it already is that if there was something that prevents me from getting there, you know. But other than that, I mean, like, you know, yeah, it's enticing to cancel the load from this particular broker and then go, you know, an additional $400 or whatever. But you know what? I don't work like that, you know. So anyway, that's the end of this vlog. Now we gotta look for another load.